He's one of the most popular rappers in Nigeria, and his hits reign on the radio and in the clubs.
Here to talk to us about his Afro hip-hop sound, his BET Award nomination, and his upcoming North America tour is Ice Prince. Welcome to the show. Here you go. Clap, clap, clap. You can bring some clap to the show. Like that.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you were born Panshak Zamani.
Yes.
And you christened yourself Ice Prince. Where does that name come from?
No, I didn't christen myself Ice Prince. Somebody started calling me Ice Prince when I was in secondary school.
Oh, really? So where does that name come from?
You have to try not to yawn in this story.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school one day wearing this very big, DMX Rough Rider Doctor. At the time, I was like a big DMX fan and stuff, and somebody started calling me Ice in class, and it stuck. Yeah.
Huh.
Very boring story, I know, but yeah, that's how my name came about.
Well, I like it. It's a great start.
Sure.
So let's continue. It gets more exciting from here on out. So you're actually up for a BET International Award.
Yes.
For Best African Artist, and you're facing some pretty stiff competition. Now, let me get this right. You're up against Two-Face from Nigeria, Toya DeLazy from South Africa, Donald from South Africa, R2Bs from Ghana, and Radio Weasel from Uganda.
All the greatest artists in Africa.
Okay, so why do you think you should walk away with the grand prize?
Because, I was nominated last year, so if I don't win this year, I think they're just purposely trying to piss me off.
You think you were robbed last year?
No, I wasn't robbed last year. It was a fair judgment last year, no doubt. But when I went back home to Africa, I worked extra harder than I did the year before. So, yeah, I think I deserve to win. I should win.
Okay. All right,
so if I don't win, my fans will be very upset. We'll come to LA.
Well, then, since this means so much, tell us, where were you when you heard you won? What was your reaction like? And what exactly will this mean to not only your father, but you as well?
I know this is very un-hip-hop, but I cried the day I heard that announcement.
Really? Actually, that's not very hardcore at all.
I know, but it's historical, something that's never been done by any African artist before. To be nominated twice in a row, it's a big pleasure for me. It's a big honor for me. And I remember I was in the northern part of Nigeria, in a place called Gombe State. I went to do a show there, and I got the news.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check that out. And what about the other win you had in 2009? You went up in this major competition that was sponsored by Hennessy. Yeah. And you actually beat out some pretty popular Nigerian artists like Bez and Mo Chetta. Yeah. And so, did I say that right? Bez?
Yeah.
Mo Chetta?
Yeah. Okay. It's actually very good, Shannon.
So how did that win affect your career?
That was the start for me. That was the beginning. That was the first platform that I had to, put myself out there. And yeah, shout outs to Hennessy Artistry for bringing that competition to Nigeria. And yeah, in 2009, I was the winner. Then I started getting into newspapers, started getting my own TV interviews, started doing shows, and started making my own money. So yeah, that was the first platform that put me out there.
Now describe your sound. You call it Afro hip hop. Others call it Afro beat.
Yeah.
So talk to us about this sound for people who aren't familiar with it.
It's the African sound. It's mostly influenced by the fella music. That's where Afro beat is actually from. But you will call it Afro beat hip hop because it has a lot of elements of hip hop in it. I do rap, and to put rap on an Afro beat, on a fella type of beat is not that easy at all. And yeah, that's what it's called.
How do you write a fella track?
You don't write a fella track. You talk on a fella track. You just prophesy on a fella track. But with modern day technology and the way music has gone now, we're able to do the Americanized type of hip hop or type of rap on the beat, and that makes it Afro beat hip hop. Yeah.
Now this music has really become the soundtrack of youth throughout Africa.
Definitely.
What is it about this sound, Afro hip hop, that's so infectious?
That's our music. You know what I mean? That's what we grew up on. That's what we heard from childhood. You know what I mean? There's a lot of storytelling in it as well. It's a lot of folk stories being told in the music, and it's drum oriented, sweet chords. And yeah, that's our music. That's Nigerian music.
Well, I noticed that in your music, you mentioned Nelson Mandela several times on several of your tracks. So, he's in critical condition. He's been hospitalized. Why is he such a prominent figure in your lyrics?
First of all, let me use this platform to say we wish, Daddy Nelson Mandela speedy recovery from the hospital. And yeah, Nelson Mandela is our hero. He's more than a legend. He's more than great. You know what I mean? And his story is very unique to Africa. So he's very unique to our people and our music. And it's only right that we mention him all the time. I don't mind calling his name on all my songs. I don't even mind naming my album Nelson Mandela. You know what I mean? Really? I think he deserves that. Yeah.
Is that something you may do in the future?
Maybe. If we can work on that album together, it would be nice.
Oh, would you like me to work on that album?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have been known to spit a few bars.
Nelson Mandela or Winnie Mandela.
I be Winnie. Okay. Well, your first major hit was Ole Ku.
Yeah.
Ole Ku.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
You know that one?
I do know that one.
Of course.
She's
I've
ready for the
jammed
album.
to that song in Lagos a few times. That song came out in 2010, but
Yeah,
it still
2010.
rocks the clubs 3
God.
years later.
Thank God.
Why do you think it remains so popular?
I mean, like they say, once a classic, always a classic. You know, I think I made a classic with that song, so I don't think it will stop playing. It will play next year. It will play the year after. It will play the year after that one too. So yeah, it's gonna be here forever.
What does Ole Ku mean?
It means hard. It means strong to death, and it has a very powerful message of me being a young Black African strong hustler, pretty much. Yeah. So that's what the song represents, and that's part of the reason why it's an evergreen song, really. Yeah. It represents that strong African young guy that's getting it.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the influences that inspire your music.
I get inspirations from everywhere, man. I can be inspired from this conversation that we're having right now. It could be a movie, it could be a trip, it could be an argument with a friend.
Does that mean we're gonna be on your next album?
You never know. I mean, but inspiration comes from anywhere for me, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I do have mentors and people that I look up to from the African music scene, Two-Face, MI, people like that I really look up to. But yeah, the inspiration comes from everywhere.
What did your parents make of your decision to become a rapper?
In Nigeria. I mean, my dad had passed away already before I started doing music. I know he wouldn't have let me do it. But my mom was very supportive from day one. I remember my mom paid for my first studio session ever.
She did? That's shocking.
Yeah, she did. And she's been very supportive. She died as well in 2011. She's passed away too, but she saw my first song blow up. She saw Ole Ku come out and blow up, and she was very supportive. She was very happy. She got on stage one time with me, and that's probably one of my best moments ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Thanks.
So you were born in Jos, which is in northern Lagos.
No, I was born in Mina, Niger
Mina.
State. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the north as well.
But you rhyme in several native tongues. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, a little bit Pidgin.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 languages actually. I speak Hausa, I speak English, and I speak Angas, which is my local language. But I mean, with songs that are done in Yoruba or in Igbo, I mostly just ask questions. I always have people around me that speak these different languages. So if I want to say, for example, I'm in New York in Yoruba, there's always somebody next to me that will tell me how to say that, and we'll put it in the music.
All right.
But now it seems like a lot of artists from abroad don't feel that they've actually arrived, that they've made it until they become a big success here in the U.S. Now, do you feel that same way, and is it important for you to find that crossover success here?
Not necessarily. Like I don't think I need to be big in the U.S. for me to feel big. You know, first of all, let me put it straight. I don't feel big. You know what I mean? But in the sense of feeling big as a musician, like you said, I think I'm content with being big in Africa or being a superstar in Africa, and that's what I'm mostly about. I'm more about, going to Kenya, going to South Africa, going to Uganda, than blowing up outside. I mean, if it happens, fine, thank God. I mean, the dream is to get your music to as far as it can go, but I'm mostly content with my environment, which is Africa.
What about collaborating with American artists? D'banj with, collaborating with Kanye.
West. Yeah.
P Square and Rick Ross. Is that something you would
There's
consider doing?
I mean, I wouldn't mind if the opportunity comes. I wouldn't mind doing that. It's something I would love to do. Obviously, I did the song with Egyptian, the Jamaican artist, last year in around February, and it was a big song. Like, it turned out to be a very big song. So if it happens with an American artist, no doubt. But it's not something that I necessarily chase or run after too much like that. If it happens, it happens.
Well,
but if you could collaborate with an American artist, who would it be?
Right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Drake, man.
Yeah?
Really?
Why Drake?
I know he's from Canada. He's not from America, but yeah, he's American artist. Yeah.
He's definitely crossed over.
Yeah, it would be Drake because I'm a big fan. I think he's one of the greatest lyricists that we have in this generation. Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll see you on your tour soon. You're about to kick off your North American
you
tour.
should tell him I'm around. Tell him the baddest guy from Africa.
The baddest guy. So tell us, where can he see you? What cities are you hitting up, and when are you playing New York so we can go check you out?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be in New York on the 13th of July.
Okay, July 13th.
We have 13th of July. That's when New York show is gonna be going down, and DC on July 5th. LA June 29th. That's before the BET Awards, and I'm gonna go Toronto as well, and like that. Yo, visit www.iceprincelive.com. Well, you'll catch up with me on all the dates.
Get all that in.
Yeah,
right.
that website was built for this tour, so yeah.
All right, just for us. You created it.
Exactly.
For the tour. Now, your album is out in September?
Yes,
What can we
September 7th.
expect from the new Ice Prince album?
First of all, the album is called Fire of Zamani, and I think the name speaks for itself. Like, I'm angry on this album.
Really? What are you angry about? You seem so chill and relaxed today. What's the problem, Ice Prince?
I'm angry with the music. Like, it's gonna be a lot of music. I'm bringing out the best in me. I'm straining myself to, you know, bring out the best that I can ever do on this album. You know what I mean? Not to say that my third album is gonna be softer than this one, but I mean, for now, this second album is gonna be the greatest thing I've ever done in my life, and it's gonna be awesome.
All right.
We're definitely looking forward to it. You know it's gonna be hot.
Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it, man. It's an honor.
Good
man.
luck
Nice
this weekend. I hope you walk away with the grand prize.
Amen.
Fingers crossed.
Thanks
again. You're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
Music is important to me. It's the first thing I ever fell in love with. It is a universal language. It is the voice of the things that sometimes we're afraid to say inside. I think music is just a beautiful gift that's been given to us. And I'm just very fortunate that I can live and love to do it every single day of my life. Hey, what's up? I'm Melanie Fiona, and you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
Ever since I became an athlete, I have been very passionate about being the best that I can be, and that starts from within. Feeding yourself the right foods, spirituality, all of that. So that's why I wake up in the morning, to be the best mom that I can be and to be inspired to get better at just living this life, being a human being on this earth. Hi, I'm Layla Ali, and you're watching Arise TV.